Hello, all of you mathematicians. I'm so glad you were able to join me today. We're going to continue with our lesson on currency that you started with Miss Connie by. I know that she started talking to you about wants and needs and how we can use money. And she talked about how we have paper money and we have coins. All of those things can help us to buy things that we need, like water, food, shelter, and it can also help us to buy the things that we want. So maybe you might want an Astros cap. When you go to the store and you see that tag on it that tells you how much it is, and you need to see, do I have enough in my bank to buy that purchase? Well, if you learn how to count your money, then you'll be ahead of the game and you'll get to see what you can buy. So let's go ahead and share screens, and we're going to talk about two coins today, the penny and the nickel. So get out your piggy bank so that you can count along with me. And every time that we talk about a coin, I want you to hold it up, the penny or the nickel. Okay, go ahead. Wait for you. I'll share my screen. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the United States currency. Now, United States currency is different from other countries' currency because our pictures are unique, because they usually have our presidents on them. We already talked about the dollar money. So today our focus is going to be about the coins. Let me introduce you to some of those coins again. These are the four most popular. There's other coins, but we have the penny, the nickel, the dimes, and the quarters. This is the front, back of each one of them. But today we're just going to try to focus on the pennies and the nickels so that when we go through our piggy bank, we'll be able to tell the difference. So why are we talking about money? Because we use it to buy things. I know you've gone to the store and you've seen these machines where you see some gum or some lollipops or maybe even a little toy and you're like, do I have enough? Can I please have some money? Well, are those things that we need? No, but from time to time, if you want them and you've been saving up your money, it might be okay. But it's not good to have unhealthy snacks all of the time. Keep that in mind. You can also use your coins in vending machines, but make sure you're making healthy choices, okay? So our coins are going to be different in several ways, but one of the most important ways is their value. So the penny is worth 1 cent, the nickel's worth 5 cents, the dime is worth 10 cents, and the quarter is worth 25 cents. And if you go to the store and you don't know what kind of money you have and you try to use it, somebody might take advantage of you. So we want to learn how much we have and be able to count it so that we can do the right thing and nobody can take advantage of us. So let's focus on the two lowest values, the 1 cent and the 5 cent, the penny and nickel. Remember, there's lots of different coins and they look different. They have different faces, different colors, different heights, different textures. Let's see what makes them different. We're going to focus on the differences for the penny and the nickel today. We have the brownish one that's a little bit smaller than the nickel, and the silvery one that's a little bit smaller than these other big ones, but not as small as this one out here, the dime. So we have to be very careful about their size. So let's take a look at the sizes. So one more way that we can tell the difference between all of them is by measuring them. Now, we're maybe not going to take out our ruler to measure them, but we could if we wanted to. So what they've done is they've lined all of them up. They started with the smallest and they got larger and larger and larger until they got to the largest one. And they tried to show us that our focus today, the nickel and the penny, are not the smallest ones. They're kind of in the middle. They are larger than the smallest one, which is the dime, and they're smaller than the bigger one, the quarter and the dollar coin. So notice that they're medium size. Another way to tell the difference is by their texture. How do they feel? So look at the coins in the middle. This stack shows two different textures. The very bottom, the largest one, has all of these little ridges, and these are called, I can't remember the name. I think it's like some sort of grip in order for them to go through the vending machines. But all of these little ridges at the bottom are rough. So when you put your finger up against it, it doesn't feel nice. It's kind of hard. And it also makes this funny noise when you run your fingernail across it. But the next one, it's a little bit fat and it's smooth. That one is the nickel. Smooth. It kind of feels like glass because it's smooth. And the next one, even though it's a little bit thinner, it's also a smooth edge. No sharp edges on there. The tiny one, that dime, which you'll talk about next time, it has ridges. So when we're focusing on the penny and the nickel, both of them are going to be smooth, like the one between the finger, not with the ridges, okay? So the penny is equal to 1 cent. No matter how you write it, whether you say penny, whether you write the numeral and then the word cent, or if you write the word out, O-N-E, like they have on the back of all of the coins, and then you write the word cent, 1 cent, or you write 1 cent in this other way with the numeral 1 and this symbol right here, which is like a C and a line through it, which means cent also. All of those mean the same thing, that if it's a coin, that's that brown coin with the smooth outside, and it's the middle size shape, it's a penny. It's only worth 1 cent. Now, who's this funny looking guy? He's got a pointy nose, he's got a beard on him, he's wearing a nice suit jacket, and he's got a bow tie. This is Abraham Lincoln, and he was our 16th president, long time ago. And they put him on all of the front of the pennies, but they don't keep him on the back. They have a lot of different options on the back. Let me show you what some of them are. So the most popular is this one right here. It's called the Lincoln Memorial. So pennies, like books, have fronts and backs. So instead of calling this the cover, we call it the front face. And this is called the back of the coin. Let's take a look at some of the other backs that you might see. Whoa, that's a lot of variety. This one's one of the oldest. Notice the color's a little bit different. This one's pretty popular. If you ever find this one, I mean popular, not like you're going to see many of them, but if you find it, everybody wants to collect this one. So hold on to it. You may see him standing in front of the Capitol building. You might see the house that he grew up in. You might see him reading a book on the famous apple tree. You might see the newest one that has the shield. Or you might see the one that there's a lot of him in his memorial. That means that there's a little statue. I'm going to show you that in a little bit later. So the oldest ones, people have used it so much they start to wear down. You don't hardly even see his face or his beard anymore. But all coins have that word on the back, O-N-E, when it's a cent. So look for it, O-N-E. That means it's a penny. O-N-E, 1 cent, and he will be on the front. Now, there's that little blow up of the back of the penny. If he's in his memorial, look, it's a statue. Can you see it? Take a look at yours. I can see it. Oops, wrong penny. Take a look and see if you find it. So I want you to know that Counting how many pennies you have can also tell you how much you have in the value. So pennies, since it's only worth 1 cent, you count them by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And whenever you stop, that means you have that many in value also. What does that mean, Ms. Tahiri? That means if I see 1 penny, then I have 1 cent. Let me see if I can go back. If I have 1 penny, then I have 1 cent. If I have 3 pennies, 1, 2, 3, how many cents do I have? 3 cents. I know you could count that quickly because you've been subitizing with me. If you see 2 pennies, then you have 2 cents. So remember, whenever you stop counting for pennies, that's the value of the pennies. It's not the same for nickels and dimes. Those you count in a different way. I'll show you that now. So let's look at the nickel. The nickel is worth 5 cents. Remember, we're always telling you to count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Well, the reason we're counting by fives all of the time to practice is because we want to be able to count our money in a fast way. So let's look and see what makes the nickel a little bit different. So that face doesn't look like the other one, does it? No, because this is actually Thomas Jefferson. And Thomas Jefferson was the 3rd president of the United States, even further back than Abraham Lincoln. And they have him in 2 different faces. The older ones have him where his face is to the side and you only see his profile. But the newer ones, they decided to show you the front of his face. Can you see the front of his face? Kind of, sort of. And here's the older ones. They wanted to show you the profile. But no matter what you see on the coin, if it's that medium size one, if it has a smooth side, and if it says the word 5 on the back, F-I-V-E, it's a nickel. You can see it as F-I-V-E. If you see it on a paper, they could say nickel, it would mean 5. They could say 5 cents with the numeral 5 and the word cents. They could use the word 5 and the word cents, or they can use a symbol like the other one, 5 and then the symbol cents. Let's take a look. Here's the front and here's the back. There's a building on the back of some of them too, but it's not a memorial. It's actually a house that he built for himself. I hope that you are able to collect enough nickels one day to build yourself a house, or maybe to have a house of your own. That would take a lot of nickels to build a fancy house like that one. But notice, F-I-V-E. No matter what I see on the front or the back, I know that that means 5 cents. The face could be to the side, or it could be looking at you. As long as it has the F-I-V-E on the back, which is one of your sight words, and so is the number 1, you can read it. Now, when we're counting nickels, remember, we can say on my first line, I see 1 nickel. Does that mean what my value is for the nickels? No, my count is different than my value. So I have 1 nickel, and that 1 nickel equals 5 cents. But what about, let's write that in there, 5 cents. What about the second one? How many nickels do I see on this line? 1, 2, 3. Do I want to put 3 here? No. Oh, I thought I wrote it in there. Let me move my picture again. Oops. Let's put it back. Let's put 5 in there. Now this one we said we see 3 nickels. But the 3 nickels, is it worth 3 cents? No, let's count by fives. 5, 10, 15. 15 cents. And my last one, 1, 2 nickels. How much is 2 nickels? 5, 10. And then I stop. That means it's worth 10 cents. So in your assignment today, Mr. Harry's not asking you to do all of the values unless you really want to and you feel comfortable doing it. But I do want you to count how many pennies you see and how many nickels you see. And I don't mean a big bank that has a lot of coins. I mean a regular bank that has some coins in it. If you have too many, just take a few and use them for the activity. So it says, do you have some coins? Can you sort out the coins? Can you separate the pennies on one side and the nickels on another side and move those dimes and quarters off? Because we'll deal with those next time. Tell me, how many pennies did you have? How many nickels do you have? Can you count them and show me? Take a picture. And as a bonus, if you're able to tell me the value, because you're counting by ones, and for your nickels, you're counting by fives, even better. But today it's sorting and counting. I hope you have a wonderful time on your activity. And if you need any help, contact your teacher. But we're all so proud of you for continuing to work hard. Good job, boys and girls. I'll see you next time. Bye.